and we're gonna go forward. Right. So good morning, everyone. This is Habib from Hassel Free Education. Today, this is the last class we're gonna have with one of our world-class IELTS instructor, Mr. Steve. So who is excited to have a class with Steve? Please type in the chat box, Steve. I'd like to see how many of you would like to have a class with Steve and you are really, really excited. Please type in the chat box, Steve. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks for responding. Masuda said, I am. Okay, just type in the chat box. How many of you are really excited to have a class with native speaker, native IELTS instructor Steve? Okay, okay, thank you for responding. Thank you for responding. So before inviting him to the class, just I'd like to mention a few of things. So it's gonna be very valuable information for you as well. So yeah, so still do you think, are you a winner or quitter? Type in the chat box, please. Winner or quitter? How do you define yourself? Have you submitted all your homework? Or is still you think you haven't been done your homework yet? So type in the chat box, which group are you in? Winner or quitter? Very quickly. Okay. Okay, thank you for responding. So type in the chat box winner if you have submitted all your homework and you have attended all the classes. Type in the chat box quickly. Winner or quitter? Excellent, excellent. Thanks for responding. I can see there are a lot of winners and I'm really thrilled to see your homework in the group. Every day you're crushing it, right? You practice a lot, you join the class, and at the end of the class, you submit your homework. And I have seen the massive improvement in your speaking, and I'm really, really excited to see your improvement. So the next thing is, how many would like to join to the IELTS class? I'd like to give you some sort of information. To give this sort of information, just I'd like to share my screen so that you can understand and you know what's going to happen. So you're going to have 60 classes for IELTS course, 20 classes with Steve, 20 classes with Arifin, and 20 classes with another British Council examiner. So these are the 60 classes you're going to get. Can you please type in the chat box how many classes you're going to get for IELTS course? Type in the chat box very quickly. I'd like to see if you follow me. How many classes you're going to get for IELTS? Type in the chat box. Okay, thank you. Thanks for responding. So yeah, you know your teacher as well. So you had a class with Arifin Sari yesterday, and today you're gonna have another class with Mr. Steve, and we have got another teacher who is a ex-British Council examiner. So yeah, all of this you're gonna have 60 classes, and IELTS is a university requirement. So if you'd like to come to master's or a bachelor program, you got to have at least 6, not less than 5.5. And if you get less than that, then still you can come. There's going to be some sort of pre-sessional course or foundation course. So type in the chat box what score you need to have to get admitted at university. Type in the chat box. Let me see how many really understood. Okay, that's right. It's minimum 6, right? So the next thing I'd like to share with you is if you'd like to work in a multinational companies or call center, I think you should have a very good score in IELTS as well, right? So the price is £200 or 20,000 taka, but you don't have to pay for this. So anyway, you're gonna get 20 classes with Mr. Steve, 20 classes with IELTS ex-British examiner, 12 classes with Arifin sir. So now you're gonna have 50% scholarship if you book now and deposit in 24 hours. So dear team, can you please just type the contact number in the chat box so that they can get it and they can later on communicate with you. Okay, so just please, okay, so condition on how to join our IELTS program. Condition on is you got to do the payment of 10,000 taka, Bcash, bank transfer, cash, whatever you prefer. And condition 2 is we're gonna give you refund 100% once you finish your course and make an application through Hasself Education. Let me explain it. So once you finish your course and you're gonna get a IELTS score and you're gonna make your application, and the day you're gonna put the deposit to the university tuition fees, we're gonna give you the refund, right? So literally the course is free for you. Type in the chat box who is excited to get free IELTS course. Type in the chat box free IELTS course. Okay, so we're gonna give you the refund 100% once you get a better score in IELTS. And yeah, so you have seen Nasrin Sultana, who has got 6.5 in IELTS. So the moment she did her transaction to the university, I mean depositing the tuition fees, we refunded her, right? So yeah, this is the information I just wanted to give you. And also you're gonna get free mock test, full mock test in exam environment and feedback as well, including this fee as well, right? So if you've got any questions, please type in the chat box. Otherwise, I will just hand over the class to Mr. Steve. And at the end of the class, you're gonna have a homework. This is your homework. So you got to make a presentation and you got to speak at least 3 to 5 minutes. So don't ask and answer, right? In your presentation, give a presentation. So before giving the presentation, you need to ask and answer. You got to get all the information and say, hi, my name is Habib. Today I'd like to share the topic. And the topic is a lesson with a native British teacher. So who was the teacher? How long did you enjoy the class? Did you understand his lecture? What did you learn from him? Share your experience with us. For example, afraid of British teacher at first, then started understanding little by little, then understood almost everything. Do you want to learn with him? What if you get 20 classes with Mr. Steve and 40 classes with other teachers? Would you be very good in English and will you get 7+ in IELTS? So that's gonna be your presentation, right? Having said that, okay, so you have given 10 homeworks. So once you have submitted 10 homeworks, then our team, they're gonna give you the email address where you need to request for your certificate. So in that email, it is say, dear sir or madam, my name is this. You got to write your full name. I have completed 10 days speaking challenge and I have submitted all my homeworks. Can I please get my certificate? Thanks, and your name. So once you send that email, yeah, you will receive your certificate as well. So in our group, Facebook group, we will post the email address and what to do in your email, right? And final thing is, you have just started, right? 10 days speaking challenge doesn't mean that you have achieved everything, right? I would say, so now you have started speaking, you understand the structure and sentences and all that stuff. Now you got to go for the another level. That's called advanced English, right? So if you do IELTS program with us, so you will improve a lot. And yeah, and also every day for next 15 days, I'm going to give you a topic in the Facebook group, right? So all you got to do, you need to make presentation. So I don't like to see you stopped here and you haven't got any sort of improvement. So every day you will get a topic in the Facebook group. Just you need to keep making your presentation there. So how many of you would like to make presentation for next 15 days? Please type in the chat box 15 days. Type in the chat box 15 days. How many of you would like to make presentation for next 15 days? Right? Please type in the chat box 15 days. So in those 15 days, you will every single day, you will get a topic in the Facebook group. That's called UK Study Visa. So once you go to the group, you will find every day from Hasself Education a topic. All you got to do is you need to just give a presentation every day. So thank you, Steve, for joining us. Dear ladies and gentlemen, can you please welcome Mr. Steve? Typing in the chat box, welcome. Just quickly type in the chat box, welcome. Yeah, he's here and he would like to conduct the class. Thank you, Mr. Steve, joining us. Please help our students to share whatever you got to share. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Habib. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I could say good morning, but I think it's not morning where you are. It's morning here in Britain. So my name is Steve. I'm 44 years old, and I live in England. My parents are British. I have lived in this country and in other countries in Asia as well. So I expect many of you are from South Asia and possibly other places. Welcome to everybody. So today we're looking at how to get band 7 in the IELTS speaking exam. So we're going to look at what is in the exam, what the examiners are looking for to get band 7, and we're going to practice some small parts of the exam together. So I will try to speak slowly and clearly, but sometimes I will speak faster, and I hope you understand me. Please just type any questions in the chat box, but the best time for questions is at the end. But if you have something, if you didn't understand something I said, you can type a question to me or to somebody else, you know, if you want to ask them. Okay, let's begin with my PowerPoint. One moment. Okay, sure. It's not showing me what I want just now. I am, yes. It's just trying to share my presentation, but it's not showing on here. Is this one? That's this one. Something funny has happened. Okay. Here we are. So I hope you can see that. IELTS preparation course. Okay, today is not the preparation course, but I teach the IELTS preparation course for speaking for hassle-free education. So if you join me later, you will be in this course with me. This was me when I was a boy. My hair color has changed in Thailand, and my brothers and sisters and my family, my wife and children today. Just to introduce myself very briefly. So I have 2 sons who have been on holiday this past week, and today I hope they are going back to school. One of them is not feeling so well, so we will see. This is just the course structure that I teach, but it also shows you the 3 parts of the speaking exam. You might know a lot about IELTS already, or you might not know anything really. So part 1 of the exam is like a conversation where they ask you lots of questions and you give short answers. So it's not a real conversation, but it's lots of short questions and short answers about you and your normal everyday life. So they might ask about your work, what you study, your family, where you live, things you like to do, places you like to go, cooking, sports, travel, shopping, things like this in part 1. And you just need to give a short answer, like about 2 sentences. In part 2, it's really a short talk, only you talking. They give you something to talk about, and you have to talk for 1 minute, minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes about that, and then a couple of questions after that. Part 3 is a more formal, or I should say an academic discussion, so you have to talk more. It's also like a conversation, two-way conversation, discussion, And they will ask you some questions like in part 1, but you need to give longer answers to say what you think and why you think that. And it's talking about big things like what people eat. Do people eat healthy food today? Or how can we save the environment? Things like this. So that's the exam very briefly. And so they are looking at 4 areas. So part 1 is fluency and coherence. So fluency is like you are flowing like a river. You don't stop all the time to think, oh, I can't think what to say. Oh, I can't think what to say. That's not fluent. So you need to try and speak all the time, not stopping. That's fluency. So that's something you can practice at home easily. Just talk to your friends and family in English when you can, or talk to yourself when you can't. Talk in your head when you can't speak out loud, and just practice talking about many different things, and that will help you to be more fluent, more confident. You can think of the words that you are missing, find words you are missing, and just speak and speak and speak. That will give you more fluency. Coherence is just fitting things together. So different ideas together, different sentences, connecting them together. So it can be just saying, you can be saying first, second, third, firstly, secondly, thirdly, in part 3 maybe. Or it can be just saying next, and then I did this, and next I did that, and after this I did that. Or it can be things like, I like this, but I don't like this, or however, or on the other hand, I don't like this. Things like that that join ideas and sentences together. So that's quite easy to learn, I think. I'm sure you know many words and phrases already. And if you don't, you can find, just search for connecting words, connecting phrases, and such things. So part 2 is grammar. I'm sure you know grammar is how you put the sentence together using the right form of the verb, like I go every day, I went yesterday, I have been one day, sometime in the past, or using S afterwards if there's many things, what the order should be of the sentence. Vocabulary is just words. Do you know lots of words? So you need to know lots of words in English. If you look on, I will show you a list of topics that can come in the IELTS exam. You can easily find, just search IELTS speaking topics online, and you can find lots of different topics and example questions, and sometimes example answers, and that will help you to to know what you can practice talking about and find the words you need to talk about those things. The good thing is that part 1 and 2 is about you. So if the topic is work, you don't need to know all the names for different jobs, just your job. And maybe if you want to say, when I was young, I wanted to do this, but now I want to do this. So maybe 2 jobs, 2 job names. You don't need to know everything. So just if you're talking about food, you need to know how to talk about the food you like, the food you buy, the food people in your country eat. So you don't need to know how to talk about other people's food too much, or every kind of food, just the food that is in your life that you want to talk about. So you have this kind of choice within that topic of what to talk about. Pronunciation is how you speak. Are you speaking in the right way, saying the words in the right way, clearly, so it's easy to understand. So this part may be a little boring, but let me show you this. This is from the actual official criteria for band 7. So you can speak a long time and it doesn't look very difficult. So if it looks like it's very difficult for you to speak English, that's not good fluency. Okay, you can have some hesitation. It's when you do it's like hesitation. If you stop a little bit, sometimes that's okay. This is band 7. Or if you say the same thing again, repetition, or correct yourself, sometimes that's okay. But if you do it all the time, it's not good. So I talked about connecting words, discourse markers. Can be things like, well, there are phrases and words you can use at the beginning of a sentence, excuse me, like well, or well, you know, or things like in my opinion, or as you know, or many phrases that you can start a sentence with or connect things together with to make it flow more. Vocabulary, flexible, so you can use different words to talk about the same thing, about different topics. And some idioms, plus expressions and phrases, special phrases, and some awareness of style and collocation. So, for example, in part 1, it's just normal English. Just you're not going to use very big, fancy, difficult words, but just normal, everyday English. But in part 3, you will use some more academic words, like causes and effects, or expressions like in my opinion and however, and things like that. It's a higher level of English in part 3. But in part 1, it's just using simple, normal English. So you need to know how to use 2 levels of English a little bit. But most of it will be the same. Paraphrase is when you say something in a different way. So instead of I walked down the street, I can say I strolled down the road. Just some different ways of saying things. So if they ask you a question, you don't have to use the exact same words as they did again, but say the same thing in a different way, and that shows them that you know lots of English. So that's something you can practice. Look at a sentence and try to say it in a different way. You can practice that at home anytime. But don't worry about these things. Don't be overwhelmed by these things. I'm trying to make it simple for you, although they use lots of big words here. Different structures, that's different kinds of sentences. Okay. So you don't just say, I go here, I do that, I like this. Not just short, simple sentences, but you can use longer sentences. You could say, I used to do this, but now I do this, or different things like that. Lots of sentences with no mistakes. Okay, so you can make mistakes and get band 7, but you want to have most of your sentences with no mistakes. There can be some mistakes that come again and again. That's okay. And the last one is about pronunciation. So it should be easy to understand you most of the time. Okay, sorry, that was a bit hard going there, but let's move on. So that's just, we'll stop sharing that one just now. Okay, now it's your turn to say some things to me. Just you can type some thoughts, some answers. We're going to look at some questions about work and study. Most people are working or studying, or you are going to be, or you used to. So you can talk about this. I'm going to show you some example questions first, and then you can give me some ideas. So let's start with this one. You'll have to excuse the colors and font. Something happened to my laptop last night and I haven't been able to change it yet. So we have some strange colors here, but I hope it's easy to read. Okay. It's looking even worse now. Come on. Okay. And now it's changing colors. That's very strange. Okay, sorry about the colors. So we have, this is for part 1 of the speaking exam. They might ask you about your hometown, where you live, where you come from, about time, about your studies and work. So we're going to look at these ones. That's better. So a simple question. What are you studying? What are you studying? So that's an easy question. We can say, for example, I'm studying business. Okay, very easy. I'm studying business. But that's too short. So we need to say a little more. I'm studying business. I really enjoy it. Or I'm studying business at this university. I'm in the 2nd year, for example, and I'm really enjoying it, or I love it. I'm studying business at this university. I'm in 1st year. It's very hard, but I really want to do it. So just make it a little bit longer, like 2 sentences. So we can just give a short answer and then another comment or some more details. Or make it 1 long sentence. So anybody want to give me an example? Just type a sentence or 2 sentences to answer this question. What are you studying? If you are not studying, imagine talking about your studies before, or the future maybe. What are you studying? I see 1 message. Okay. Currently, I'm pursuing my honors 1st year. Okay. What I'd like to do is go back to this. Write some examples. Okay, we've got lots of examples. Good. Okay. Okay. Okay, so pursuing is quite high level language, but you can use that. That's good. And you need to say pursuing is not, you can't say I'm pursuing business, but I'm pursuing a degree in business, or I'm pursuing my honors degree or my master's degree, or you could say a master's degree or my master's degree or my honors degree, or I'm pursuing a degree something. Okay, good. Currently means just now. Yep. Very good. Okay, good. Recently. So if you have just finished something, your studies are finished, or some exam is finished, or your first year is finished, you can say, I've recently done my first year, I've recently completed my first year, I've recently finished my first year, or you can say I've just. Okay, good. I'm studying. So it's not for us today. What happened? Here we are. Okay. You can say I'm in the first year, or I'm in my first year. Okay. If we're after studying, we can't say in here. So we don't say I'm studying in economics, or I'm studying in whatever, but I'm studying economics. Okay. And graduated. We don't use completed with graduate, so we need to say graduated. Well, if we talk about a subject, you have to just say this one here. But to say graduate from, you say graduate from a university or a college. That's good. So like this one, we can say I'm studying honors. This is UK, this is US spellings. Okay, so you can say I'm studying for just I'm doing lots of different phrases people are using. So this is the most simple one. Just I'm studying economics. I'm studying business. That's the easy one. If you want to, you can use all these other things, but I'm studying economics. That's easy. I'm in my first year at something university, and you can say something about is it hard or easy? Are you enjoying it or not? Okay, I'm currently studying. Okay, besides that, I also work in. Okay. Sorry about this. This is a little slow, sorry. I've completed my degree in business, but now I'm pursuing a master's in management. Good. Just remember to say a degree or a master's. Okay. There we go. Okay. So let me make this a bit bigger. Sorry about that. To remove this one. Oh dear. Let's go back. Okay. All right. Trying to move my picture away. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So we don't need to use all these words, but we need to say I'm studying something. But yes, we can say currently, just now, or recently, in the time before, just before now. We can say I'm studying for a degree, or I'm pursuing a degree. I'm doing a degree. And we can say I have graduated from this university, or I've graduated with a degree in this subject. It's good to say what year you are in. If you're studying, I'm in the first year, I'm in the second year, third year, I'm in my final year, or I'm in the final year. And if you are studying and working, you can say I'm studying economics, and I also work as a teacher, or I'm also a teacher, or something like that. And you can say something like besides that, or as well as that. Good. And remember to make some comments about it, to say, is it hard? Is it easy? Is it is it what you always wanted to do, or is it fun? Do you like it? So if I imagine I was at university still, I graduated in 1999, and so I could say I'm studying zoology. I'm in third year at Glasgow University. It's quite a small course, but I'm really enjoying it. It's really good. And if you want to, you can say a little more about it, but that you can keep it simple like that. So in part one, you don't need to show very special language abilities, but they just want to know that you can talk about different things easily, a little bit about many different things. So how are we for time? I think we need to if we talk about work, we'll also talk about work. We can use some of these phrases as well, but so not I'm studying, but I'm working. And we need to I'm working. So we can just say for example, for me, I'm a teacher. If I say, are you working? Or what is your job? What do you do? I can say I'm a teacher. I can say I'm working as a teacher, you can also say. Or I'm working at a school. So you can say where you're working. I'm working in a factory. I'm working in an office. I'm working at an office. I'm working as a cleaner. I'm working as a businessman. I'm working as a something like that. So these are three kinds of phrases you can use for work. You can just say I work. I work. So you can just say I work. I work as a teacher, because I work is what is normal, what's always happening. I'm working can be just temporary. It means now, maybe not always, but just now I'm working. So say I work. I work as a teacher. I work at a school. Okay, and you can say your position as well. Like, well, of course, a teacher is your position, or you might say, I work in an office. I'm a manager, or I'm a secretary, or I work, or I am self-employed. Means I work for myself. I don't work for a company. I work just myself. I'm self-employed. And then just say what I do. I'm self-employed. I teach. So I don't teach at a school just now. I'm self-employed. I'm a private tutor. So I teach students online and in different places. I'm self-employed, or you can say I could say I'm freelance. I'm a freelance. Okay, anybody working? You want to give me some sentences? Please type some sentences about your work. So tell me what do you do? If the examiner says, what do you do? That means what is your work? What do you do? What do you work as? Are you working? What is your job? These questions. Can you answer that question for me? And I'll give you I'll write down some more phrases, good phrases that you use, and correct some things for you. Okay, here we go, good. Okay, somebody asked about talking about an honors. You need to say, I'm doing a BSc honors. If I go back to the last slide, here, we need to say, I'm doing a BSc, or I'm doing a master's. Or if you say honors, you need to say an honors. I'm doing an honors degree. Okay, so just use a. All right, let's go back. Okay, I'm working in a Pulasabari creative school. Good. I'm studying. Good. Yes, I'm a student. Remember to say a. There is one thing you must always say a for the I'm a student. I work as a trainer. Good. I work as a trainer. I'm a student. Good. Besides that, we need to say besides with an S. Besides that. It's like besides, but we say besides. Besides that, I'm a teacher, or I'm also a teacher. Good, using a both times. Anybody else? Okay, so remember, you need to give more comment. Think about 2 sentences you can say. So I could say I'm a private tutor, or I'm a teacher. I teach English and other languages and guitar. I've been I've been teaching for many years. I love my job. I meet lots of different people and help them. So make some comment about your work. Of course, they might ask you another question. Do you enjoy your work? Or what do you enjoy about your work? So you can say more then. But in this first question, do you work? You can just say what you do and give some more detail, some more comment. I'm a freelancing teacher, or I'm a freelance teacher. I think you can say both. Usually a freelance teacher, but it might be freelancing might be more common in other countries, but I don't think so here. I don't think it is here. I'm a freelance teacher. I'm a student as well as I'm doing part-time job. So okay. Anything else? Is it doing or working? And also, I'm a student, and I'm also doing a part-time job. Or I'm also working part-time. I'm a student of honors first year. Okay. Oh, you're studying zoology. Great. I studied zoology at university, and then I studied to be an English teacher. Okay. I'm a student of honors. We would say that sounds like say I'm an economics student, or I'm an honors student. Usually we say it that way in English. I'm an honors student, not a student of honors. Okay, I'm a student. Okay, we did that one. As well as doing a part-time job. Okay. It's an online business where I sell different kinds of products. Very good. Good. So some detail about your job. Yes. So you can say, I'm working part-time. I'm working part-time. It's an online business. Yeah. I'm doing a part-time job. Good. So I'm a student as well as doing a part-time job, and it's an online business. Remember an, because it's online. So an online business where I sell different kinds of products. Very good. Okay, so you can say I'm a teacher. I teach English to children and adults, online and face-to-face in my case. I work in a shop selling clothes. I'm a sales assistant or shop assistant, for example. So as well as means also. So I teach English as well as other subjects. I teach English and other subjects. It just means and. I have lived in Thailand as well as England and Scotland. So I've lived in Thailand and England or Scotland. Okay, any more examples or questions about talking about work or studies? I'm a student of Diploma. Remember I said not a student of honors, but an honors student. So I'm a I'm a diploma student. I'm a diploma student, as well as learner of freelancing. Okay. But freelancing, can be different kinds of work. It just means you're not employed. You don't have an employer. So, or what do you mean learner by learner of freelancing? Maybe you're just starting to do freelance work. Oh, sorry, I've gone onto the wrong slide. Scrolling on different windows causes problems. Okay, good question. If you're not working, you could say I'm not working at the moment, or I'm between jobs. I'm employed. There's some different ways you can say it. If you are, what can we say? If you are at home, if your work is looking after the house, cleaning the house and cooking and looking after children, you can say I'm a housewife. Or a husband, which we sometimes have in this country. But if you're just, usually you would have a job, or you've finished your studies and you haven't got a job yet, you can say, I'm not working at the moment, or I haven't got a job yet. Looking for work. Applying jobs. Okay, some examples for you. So you can say at the moment, or just now. I'm not working just now. So maybe you were working before, or you're going to work soon, but I'm not working just now. I'm not working at the moment. It's quite a common thing for people to say here if they're not working. I'm doing an online business. You can say I have, it's better maybe. I have an online business. What else? So, okay, for example, I have a cleaning business. I have an online business. I have a something business. Okay. All right. I think it's time for us to have some practice. So I'm going to put you into little groups in breakout rooms. So we are in one video call now, but I can put you into small video calls with maybe 4 people in each one, and then you can practice talking to each other. But I think before we do that, we'll look at one example, one video, and then you can have a turn. So remember, everybody has different levels of English. So some people will be using simple language, making more mistakes. Please be respectful and patient with them. And some people will have a high level of English, using very good vocabulary, speaking very confidently and almost perfectly. But please help each other, and learn from each other. So let's see, any questions I've missed? So let's look at this video. I've given some examples already. So let me try to share this one. Too many things open. Oh, no, that's okay. Oh, I need to. I need to also make it optimal for a video clip and share sound. Okay. And now share it again. This one here. And come to the video. Okay. So let's listen to this woman doing an IELTS test, and she's got band 7 score. So this is an example for you. I've skipped the first part, which is introductions and getting her ID, and I'll try and get the beginning.
Wonderful.
Checking her passport.
Okay, let's talk about your neighborhood. Describe a park in your neighborhood or city that you like.
I start talking about a park in my neighborhood. There's a small park at the end of my street. There is a fountain in the middle. There are some benches where you can sit and relax.
That should be sit and relax. A seat is a chair. Sit is what you do.
Also a small garden, and some of the local neighbors plant flowers there every year.
Right, and what can people do there?
Actually, it's a small park, so there is not much to do there. It's just for looking pretty. You can go there, sit on the benches, and
So she said sit there, but it sounded like seat. So be careful, sit and seat. Seat is the thing, and sit is what you do.
watch the water in the fountain. You can enjoy the beauty of the flowers. It's so enjoyable, and also there's a it's right next to the bus stop, so you can wait for the bus there too.
So that's almost perfect English. That's very good. But it's okay if you make more mistakes than that.
And do you enjoy spending time there?
Yes, it's very enjoyable. I like to go to the park, especially when the weather is nice, because after being inside all day at work, I like to go to the park on my way home, because it's a way for spending time.
She should say it's a way to spend time. It's a way to spend time.
Outside, and sometimes I run into my friends in the park, and I've gotten to know some of my neighbors.
So if you run into somebody, it's just a fun way to say you meet them. So I meet them by accident. I didn't make an appointment and plan to meet them, but they were there and I saw them and met them. So we can say I ran into my friend in the park yesterday.
By spending time in the park, so that's an advantage.
All right, and let's move on to talk about computers now. How much time do you spend using a computer?
So stop there. We don't have time to listen to more. And I'm sorry, this is not about study or work, but just so you can see a little bit of what the exam is like. Usually they don't say describe something in part 1, but in part 2. But usually it's more short answer questions. So I showed you questions about work and study before. We can look at those quickly again, and then this one. Oh no, it's the where is it now? And descriptors. This one is because the colors are funny. Oh no, it's not this one. But here's some example sentences again. Do you work or are you a student? Do you enjoy your job? What's the best thing about your job? Do you prefer working alone or with others, and why? So just some examples, and you can see the answers are quite short. I'm a qualified doctor, but at the moment I'm studying English so that I can work in this country. Yes, I really enjoy my job. Ever since I was a child, I've always wanted to be a doctor. I've always wanted to be able to help people. You don't have to say, I've always wanted, but you can say, I love my job. I love meeting people, helping people. I love organizing things. I really enjoy this and that. Just present tense things. The best thing about my job is that I can make a difference. It's great to. Okay, do you prefer working alone or with others? In a hospital, you have to work as part of a team. I've got used to working with others. So this is just, these are like very good, examples, except here he says, I've always wanted 2 times. It's better to use different expressions. So let's stop there. And I will send you into some groups and ask people, do you work or are you studying? Are you working or studying? Are you working or studying? And then they can say something about their study or their work. And if you have time, after everybody answers that question, you can ask more questions. What do you enjoy about your course or your work? Why did you choose it? Or what do you want to do next? So let me put you into rooms. Okay, I'm going to make it 4 or 5 people in each room. But sometimes people don't join the rooms. So if there's a problem, there's a button to press to say ask for help, or you can leave and choose leave the room and come into this main meeting again, or you can leave the whole meeting if you need to go now. So this is extra time if you can stay to practice speaking with other people in this class. So I'm going to do that now. So you should see a small window saying join breakout room. So please click join, go into a small room and practice talking about your study or your work in English now, please. So just click join and answer the question. Are you working or studying? So one simple question, are you working or studying? Remember to use about 2 sentences or 1 long sentence. Okay, please join your group quickly. Some people are waiting for somebody to talk to. Oh, somebody's not assigned, so. Four. So you can leave the room anytime. If you go into this small video call, you can leave anytime and come back to this main meeting. Let me just give somebody a group. 3. Okay, 2 people in that group, 2 people in that group, 3 people in that, 4 people in that group. Good. Okay, so some people maybe are not available or don't want to go into a small group, so we'll wait for the others to get some practice time. Let me just give somebody else a group. Oh, they've gone now. Somebody has no one to practice with. Let's move this person to 3. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's leave them to it. So, if we go back to our presentation, for those who are hanging about, what's this question? I've completed my post-graduation and I did a job approximately 5 years, but at the moment I'm in between jobs. Okay. I've completed my post-grad degree. I did a job. I had a job. Usually we say I had a job or I was working. For about 5 years, but at the moment, between jobs. That's what you should say. So I think you were trying to say postgraduate degree. So we have a undergraduate degree, your honors degree, your ordinary degree. And then if you do another degree, that's your postgraduate degree. Sometimes, often we say postgrad because postgraduate is very long. So postgrad degree or postgraduate degree. And I had a job, or I was working for approximately 5 years, or for about 5 years. But at the moment, I'm between jobs because I had a job before, I will have a job in the future. So we're talking about 2 jobs. I'm between jobs. Okay, I think we will bring people back now. So close the breakout rooms. So they will come back to us now. So looking at the other questions, you can think about what you would say of course, if you need to go now, please leave the class if you need to go. We have gone on quite late, but I just want to finish and say some last comments to people. So we're waiting for everyone to come back from the small groups. So what are you studying? Why did you choose that particular course? Why did you choose that subject? What job would you like when you have completed or finished all your studies? Or when you graduate, when you finish, when you graduate, when you leave university, what would you like to do? What job would you like to do? What work do you do? Sometimes we don't say work, we just say, what do you do? So if I say, what do you do? That means, what is your job? If I say, what are you doing? That's, are you reading? Are you talking? Are you working on your computer just now? But what do you do means, what is your job? What work do you do? It's more clear. What do you enjoy? What are your main duties or responsibilities? So be ready for those words, duties, responsibilities. That's what you have to do, what you need to do. So for example, me, I have to answer messages from students. I have to book lessons. I have to prepare lessons and teach lessons and send feedback to students and prepare materials. Is there any other work you would like to do in the future? Okay, so let me stop sharing this one. Any last questions before we finish this class? I'm sorry that we started late and finished late. Any more questions or comments? So remember the main things for band 7, you need to be able to speak quite fluently. So not too much hesitation, not too much stopping. So practice that, practice speaking. If you are not very confident speaking, or it's difficult to think what to say, then just speak all the time. I do that with other languages I'm learning. I just speak in my head or out loud if I'm alone to get more fluent. Then the sentences come more easily and more automatically when you say it more and more and more. Okay, how can I bring sentence variation into my speaking? Okay, well, one good thing to do is to look at other people, look at native speakers. So more reading and listening to native speakers, different ways they say things. So study what you read and what you hear, and look at different ways people say things. You can look on websites with examples of IELTS answers and see different kinds of sentences and just practice using those. So first copy them again and again, and then try to mix them up, use your own sentences. Okay. Should I use more fancy words? Basically, generally, yes. If you want a higher score, you should use more words and higher level words. But in part 1 and 2, you don't want to use very formal. You don't want to use really formal language, because that's the wrong style for that situation. So if you are just having answering questions about your work and your studies, yes, use words like graduation and postgraduate and completed my studies, but you can say finish. Things like this that are a little bit formal, but you don't want to use very formal language like nevertheless or really academic language in part 1 and 2, because it's just talking normally about normal life. But you do need to use not just very simple words. So if I look quickly at the examples, so for example, you can say I'm a teacher. That's very simple. Or you can say I'm working as a teacher. It's a bit more complicated. But you can also start simple. I'm a teacher, and then say more like I'm freelance, or I'm employed by a school, by a private school, whatever. So just look at examples online and find different sentences and different phrases you can use. But we don't want to sound very formal. But we want some high level vocabulary, like unemployed or freelance or things like that. But not too much in parts 1 and 2. In part 3, you want more academic language, more fancy language. But also look at things that are more, maybe not common, easy language, but there are still everyday English expressions. Like when we say, I'm afraid I don't really like my course. Like that, it doesn't mean I'm scared, but it means I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I don't like my course. I'm afraid I don't like my course. That kind of thing, which is normal English, but it's not really simple. Okay, if I can use accent different, like sometimes I can use American, sometimes British. Okay. No, if you change different accents, it's not important. If you use the same accent all the time, it's easier to understand. But if you use different good accents, then that's fine. American and British, yeah, it shouldn't reduce your score unless it's really not clear if you're changing all the time. But it's okay. So that's us. We need to stop. Thank you for coming to the class, and I hope it was helpful for you. That you understand. Oh, someone's raised their hand. Zahid Ahmed, would you like to speak? Say something? You're welcome. So there's lots more we can say and look at, but we have a short time. So please join the speaking course later, and we can do more together and have more practice together. Okay, anybody? Please feel free to go if you need to go. If you have another question. Zahid, are you still here? Zahid Ahmed, do you want to ask something? I don't know, teacher. No? Okay. All right, that's all for today then. Are you going to answer further questions, Ms. Nafisa?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Actually, I have something to discuss with the students.
All right, so I'll excuse myself now. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you need me to make you host? No.
Yeah, I'm the co-host. No.
Okay. So I'm leaving now.
Okay, so hello everyone, this is Nafiza. Hope you have enjoyed today's class. So how many of you have enjoyed today's class? Can you please type in the chat box, enjoyed, if you have really enjoyed today's class? Can you please type in the chat box, enjoyed, if you have enjoyed? Okay, Aisha saying I enjoyed. Thank you so much, Aisha. JK Jeevan said love. Thank you so much that you loved the class. Okay, really enjoyed. Thank you so much, everyone. So this is it. We have completed our 10-day speaking challenge successfully, and you have made the contribution to this wonderful speaking challenge. So thanks for your participation and the homeworks you have submitted on our Facebook group. So if you have any questions regarding our speaking course, IELTS course, study in UK, or your certificate, that you can ask me. I mean, you can type in the chat box. I will try to answer your questions. So if you have any question, please, you can type in the chat box. Please type in the chat box. Okay, so if you don't have any question, let me share something with you, what you need to do. So this is the thing. So if you have missed the classes, then you can find the recorded classes in the YouTube. So this is the YouTube link. So let me share this in the chat box. 1 second. So that you can watch the recorded version of the classes in the YouTube. So yeah. So I have shared the YouTube channel link. So you will get all the class recordings there. So you can watch them again and again. And if you have not submitted your homework here, then you can submit it. And here is the Facebook group link where you need to submit your homeworks. Let me share this with you. 1 second. So yeah. So yeah, this is the Facebook group link. So if you have not submitted your homeworks yet, so you can submit there. Okay, Jahid is saying only academic IELTS. Yes, we are conducting the academic IELTS course. So if you're interested for that, then you can contact with us. So now the most important part, like what you need to do to get the certificate. So nothing much, you just need to send us an email, and the email subject should be 10-day speaking challenge, so that we can identify that you are sending us an email to get the certificate. And you need to send the email to this address. This is international@hnkbusiness.co.uk. So let me share this in the chat box so that you can email us for your certificate. So yeah, in the subject, you need to mention that you need to mention 10-day speaking challenge, and in the body, you need to mention your full name, your Facebook name, through which you have submitted your homeworks in our Facebook group. And then you need to mention about the homeworks, the number of homeworks you have submitted, and the number of class you joined or you watched from YouTube. So you need to mention all of this. And after that, our team will help you to get the certificate. So this is the thing. And so if you have any question regarding the certificate and other things, then you can ask in the chat box. And our next 12-day speaking challenge is going to be started from 19th of March, same time, 2 p.m. Bangladesh time and 8 a.m. UK time. So if you have any friends who are in need of this course, I think you can invite. So yeah, that's all. Aisha is asking, I submitted all my homeworks, but my email is written by fake name. Okay, no issues. If you have if you are using different email address, you just need to mention your real name, I mean your full name and your Facebook name in the email body, so that we can identify you. Any other question? Okay. Okay, if you have any other question regarding certificate and other things, then you can ask me right here. So yeah, our next 12-day speaking challenge is going to be started from 19th of March. So Ashraful Hoxing, is it so needed to attend, join class regularly? You can watch it from YouTube as well. After watching the full class, if you need to submit your homeworks, after that we will issue the certificate. If anyone mistake homework, but he is nowadays continue her homework, any chance? Yes, you can submit your homeworks to get the certificate. Okay. Okay, any other question? If you have, then you can ask me right here. Otherwise, I will close the class here. Okay, no more question. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Hope you have liked Steve's class and our 10-day speaking challenge whole course. Okay, JK Jivan saying wait. Okay, I'm waiting. So if you have any queries, then you can write. And if you're interested to join our IELTS course, you can join. Let me share the course pattern with you. Like we have 60 classes in this course. Already Asan Habib sir have shared, has shared that what will be in the class, like 20 class with Steve sir on speaking and listening, and 20 classes with Ishan Arifin sir, and 20 classes with British Council examiner. So if you're interested to do the classes, then you need to join our IELTS course. And JK Jiban is asking how many homework need to be submitted. Obviously, all of the 10 homeworks you need to submit on the Facebook group. After that, we will issue the certificate. Any more question? If you have, then you can ask. Okay, so what I was saying that to join the IELTS course, you need to confirm us by sharing your number in the chat box. Okay, you will have weekly 3 days classes from 8:30 p.m. Bangladesh time to 10 p.m. The class duration will be 90 minutes and the course duration will be 4 to 5 months. Okay, if you have any question, you can fire right now. Okay, no more question. Thank you so much, everyone. So if you want the certificate, then you need to send us an email with all of these details. Thank you so much. See you next time.